Have you ever heard of an object so powerful, so alluring, that it could bring an entire civilization to its knees? Not through war, not through famine, but through sheer, unadulterated desire. Today, we're journeying back in time to a kingdom lost to the sands of history, to uncover the story of the serpent's tearly crown that promised eternity and delivered only ruin. Our story begins in the flourishing kingdom of Ethelgard, a civilization renowned for its brilliant astronomers, master artisans, and a deep connection to the natural world. They weren't conquerors, they were creators. Their cities, built from white marble and shimmering crystal, were said to sing with the wind. At the heart of this prosperous kingdom was the Sunstone Spire, a magnificent observatory from which the Ethelgardians charted the heavens and predicted the changing of the seasons with uncanny accuracy. For centuries, Ethelgard was ruled by a line of wise kings and queens, guided by a council of elders. Their philosophy was simple: balance. Balance with nature, balance within their society, and balance within themselves. They believed that true wealth wasn't gold or jewels, but knowledge and harmony. But this beautiful equilibrium was about to be shattered by the discovery of a single extraordinary object. It was found by a team of royal geologists deep within the caldera of a dormant volcano. Nestled in a geode of obsidian was a crown unlike anything ever seen. It wasn't crafted by mortal hands. The band was a seamless loop of a strange, dark metal that seemed to drink the light around it, and set upon it was a single, massive gem. It was shaped like a teardrop and shimmered with an internal, serpentine light, shifting from emerald green to sapphire blue. They named it the Serpent's Tear. When the crown was brought before King Theron the Wise, the entire court gasped. It was mesmerizing. The gem pulsed with a soft, rhythmic glow, like a sleeping heart. Scholars who examined it were baffled. The metal was unknown, impossible to scratch or dent. The gem defied classification, possessing a hardness far beyond diamond. But its most astonishing property was discovered by accident. A frail, elderly council member reached out to touch it. As his fingers brushed against the cool metal, a visible wave of energy flowed into him. The wrinkles on his hand seemed to soften. A youthful vigor returned to his eyes. He stood up straighter. His voice, usually a weak rasp, boomed with newfound strength. The court was in shock. The Serpent's Tear didn't just look divine, it seemed to reverse the very process of aging. News of the crown's power spread through Ethelgard like wildfire. Initially, it was a source of wonder and hope. King Theron, ever cautious, ordered the crown to be studied, not worn. He feared that such power could upset the delicate balance his ancestors had worked so hard to maintain. For a time, his wisdom prevailed. The crown was secured in a royal vault, a curiosity to be studied, not a tool to be used. But the seed of desire had been planted. The very existence of an object that could cheat death began to gnaw at the psyche of the Ethelgardians. The elders, who once preached acceptance of life's natural cycle, now looked at the crown with longing eyes. The noble families, once content with their legacies, now dreamed of endless dynasties. The idea of mortality, once an accepted fact of life, became a curable disease. The turning point came with the unexpected illness of King Theron's beloved wife, Queen Elara. A sudden plague, swift and relentless, swept through the palace, and the queen was its first victim. The royal physicians were helpless. As she lay fading, a desperate King Theron made a fateful decision. He broke his own decree and placed the serpent's tear upon her head. The effect was instantaneous and miraculous. The color returned to her cheeks, her breathing steadied, and within an hour, she was sitting up, stronger than she had been in years. Ethelgard erupted in celebration. Their king had conquered death itself. The crown was no longer a dangerous artifact. It was their salvation, their divine gift. King Theron, relieved but deeply unsettled, declared the crown a royal treasure to be used only in moments of dire need. But the people had tasted eternity, and they wanted more. A subtle rot began to set in. The core philosophy of balance was replaced by a frantic pursuit of permanence. Why strive to build a legacy for your children when you yourself could live to see it for centuries? Why pass on knowledge when you could accumulate it endlessly? The social fabric of Ethelgard began to fray. The once harmonious society fractured into factions, all vying for access to the crown. The noble houses, who once worked together for the good of the kingdom, now plotted against each other, their ambitions fueled by the promise of immortality. The king and queen, themselves now sustained by the crown's power, grew distant. They no longer aged, but they also no longer truly lived. They watched as their children and grandchildren grew old and passed away, while they remained unchanged, trapped in a timeless, joyless state. The love they shared became a monument to their shared curse, not a source of comfort. The crown demanded a price. To sustain its power, it needed to be worn. The longer one wore it, the more dependent they became, and the more they craved its energy. The Ethelgardians established a ritual. The crown would be passed among the elite, a few days at a time, a shared dose of immortality. This system, meant to be fair, only intensified the jealousy and paranoia. Murders and betrayals became commonplace. The singing cities grew silent, their inhabitants too consumed by suspicion to create art or music. The great observatory, the sunstone spire, fell into disuse. Who cared for the stars when eternity was within their grasp? Her scientific curiosity withered, replaced by a singular, obsessive focus on the serpent's tear. They stopped looking up at the heavens and only looked inward at their own selfish desires. The balance was broken. The end did not come with a bang, but with a slow, agonizing whimper. The kingdom of Ethelgard, once a beacon of civilization, cannibalized itself from the inside out. The population dwindled, not from war, but from endless infighting and a complete cessation of progress. Society ground to a halt. There were no more children, no more new ideas, no more art. There was only the quiet, desperate waiting for one's turn to wear the crown. The final chapter of Ethelgard is lost to legend. Some say a massive earthquake, a final cry from the wounded earth they had forsaken, swallowed the kingdom whole. Others whispered that the last few Ethelgardians, withered husks of their former selves, fought over the crown until only one remained, left to wander the empty, silent cities, eternally alone. The serpent's tear, the crown that promised everlasting life, had become the tombstone of an entire civilization. It taught them the ultimate lesson: a life without end is a life without meaning. The beauty of the sunrise is predicated on the coming of night. The joy of creation is rooted in the knowledge that our time is finite. Ethelgard forgot this. In their quest to conquer death, they forgot how to live. The story of the serpent's tear serves as a chilling reminder. It's a tale not just about a magical artifact, but about the seductive nature of power and the dangers of losing our perspective. It forces us to ask what we truly value. Is it the length of our lives or the depth of our experiences? Ethelgard chose length, and in doing so, lost everything. Their gleaming cities are now buried under dust, a silent testament to the crown that doomed the civilization. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. If you find these lost histories as fascinating as I do, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more tales from the forgotten corners of our world. See you next time.